Hello everyone, I am MaqLinz once again. Welcome to MaqLinz TV. It's been a long time. Medyo matagal tayong hindi nagkita, hindi nag-usap. Okay, so at this point of time, tatalakayin po natin yung dalawang non-Mendelian pattern of inheritance. Incomplete dominance and the codominance pattern of inheritance. Okay, so basic biology po tayo, basic high school science, pero ito po yung isa sa mga paksa na talagang or medyo mahirap maintindihan, medyo mahirap makuha ng ating mga high school students. Okay? Lalong-lalo na sa school namin. Okay, so before going into the differences between this intermediate inheritance and this codominance pattern, let us first understand different terms like allele, homozygote, heterozygote, gamete, phenotypes, or genotypes. Okay? So, what is an allele? So, simply, an allele is just a term used to refer gametes or used to a general term for an egg cell or a sperm cell. Okay? Or cells used in breeding. Okay? What about a homozygote? A homozygote is just an offspring which shows a uniform characteristic. What about a heterozygote? A heterozygote is just an offspring or the result of breeding which shows a mixed characteristics or shows the traits from both parents. So that is what we call heterozygote. What about the term phenotype? The term phenotype means an external appearance of an organism. Okay? The color of your skin, color of your eyes, your hair, your height. Those are examples of phenotypes. What about genotypes? So these are traits that are hidden, traits that can only be seen or can only be found in our genes. So those are called genotypes. Okay, so let's go back to incomplete dominance. No, as the name implies, incomplete dominance. It simply means that the traits from both parents do not really dominate on the offspring. Okay, so for example, one parent is very intelligent, the other parent is not so intelligent. Let us say dull, like me. Okay, so if the intelligence of the offspring falls between the traits of two parents, then that shows what we call incomplete dominance pattern. So to make it simple, let us just use another example. Example, if two flowers are crossed, one flower is pure red and the other flower is pure white. Okay? So here, let me just show you a very simple illustration. Crossing of two flowers, pure red and a pure white. Okay? So these are the alleles of pure red flower. You have R and R. Alleles for pure white flower, you have W and W. So if you're going to cross the red and white, you have red, white. Then you have white and red. You also have red, white. You also, another crossing here, red, white. You have red, white. Then red and white. Then you have red, white. Okay. So if you are going to look at red when mixed with white, the result is pink. Okay? Because if you combine red and white, the resulting color is pink. So in this case, if you cross a pure red flower to a pure white flower, the color of the offspring, the color of the flower of the offspring is pink. So pink is the intermediate color between red and white. And that pattern of inheritance is the one we call incomplete pattern of inheritance or incomplete dominance. Meaning to say that the trait of one parent, which is pure red, and the trait of the other parent, which is pure white, do not dominate on the offspring. No? The offspring doesn't show a pure red color and a pure white characteristics. Rather, it only shows an intermediate color between red and white. And that is pink. So in this case, again, this pattern of inheritance is called incomplete dominance because color red do not dominate and color white also do not dominate on the offspring. So the resulting heterozygote, okay, so we call it heterozygote because these zygotes shows a mixed characteristics coming from both parents. So the phenotype is pink. External appearance of the offspring is pink. It is neither pure red nor pure white. Okay? So this is, again, shows an incomplete dominance pattern of inheritance. In animals like humans, there are a lot of traits that we have from head to foot. The color of the skin, the height, no? So, the father, for example, is very tall and the mother is very short. So, if the offspring shows an average height, so we can simply say that it might be an example of an incomplete pattern of inheritance or incomplete dominance because the offspring do not really inherit that height from one parent that is very tall or that height from the other parent that is very short. So, instead, the height is in between the two parents, so it can be an example of the so-called incomplete dominance. Or another is intelligence. If one parent is very intelligent, the other one is not so intelligent. If the intelligence of the offspring is just an average intelligence, so it can also be another example for incomplete dominance. Okay? But to make it very simple, just always remember, when a pure red flower is crossed with a pure white flower, the resulting color is pink. If the resulting color is pink, as you can see in our crossing, so this heterozygote shows that incomplete pattern of inheritance, which again simply means that the trait of one parent that is pure red and the trait of the other parent that is pure white do not appear on the offspring. Instead, the trait that appear is just an intermediate of the traits contributed by both parents. So that is what we call incomplete pattern of inheritance. As you can see, that is 100% pink. Okay, so this is pink, another pink, another pink, another pink. 100% pink. The offspring is 100% pink. Okay, now what about the codominance pattern of inheritance? Okay, so codominance pattern of inheritance is another example of the non-Mendelian pattern of inheritance in which both traits from both parents appear in the offspring. So for example, if a red bull is mated with a white cow, the color of the heterozygote is both red and white. Okay, so it is different from crossing a red flower to a white flower in which the resulting offspring is pink. But in this case, no, when a red bull is mated with a white cow, if the resulting color is a mixture of red and white, then that pattern is codominance pattern. Okay? So, for example, a pure red bull is crossed with a pure white cow. Okay? So, red and white, you have red, white, or Rowan. Red and white, you have Rowan. Red and white, you have Rowan. Red and white, you have Rowan. So, RW is Rowan. Okay? A pure red bull crossed with a pure white cow produces a Rowan calf. So what is a Rowan calf? So this is a heterozygote which shows both the color, red and white. Okay? So nakita niyo ba yung mga baka na kung yung kanyang kulay ay mayroong pula at mayroong puti, Yun ay tinatawag na rowan. Okay? And that pattern of non-Mendelian pattern, and that non-Mendelian pattern of inheritance is called codominance. Meaning to say, the traits of both parents, the trait of a pure red bull, and the trait of a pure appears on the offspring. Yung pagiging pula at pagiging white, no, ay nandyan sa heterozygote sa offspring. Makikita mo yung kulay pula, and you can also see white color on the skin of the offspring. So that is codominance pattern of inheritance. That is very different from incomplete pattern of inheritance, in the sense that in incomplete pattern of inheritance, the heterozygote shows an intermediate phenotype between the homozygous phenotypes of two parents. Again, if offspring, the homozygote, the heterozygote shows an intermediate trait, example, the color, intelligence, height, behavior, no? Basta kay intermediate, in between the traits of two parents, that pattern of non-Mendelian inheritance is called incomplete dominance, since the traits of one parent do not dominate on the offspring. Okay, just like the red flower that is crossed with white flower gives you an offspring of pink. Okay, so red and white do not appear as color on the offspring. That is incomplete dominance. While for codominance pattern, the trait of both parents appear on the offspring. So in our example, a pure red bull crossed with a pure white cow, the color of the offspring is rowan. Rowan is what? A combination of red and white. Meaning to say, yung baka, yung anak ng bull at yung cow na yan ay may kulay na makikita mo red and white. Okay? So, kulay ng bakang yan is red and white. Okay? So, that is what we call codominance pattern of inheritance. Alright? So, maraming traits ang nasa isang organism from, as I said, from head to foot. Gumamit lang tayo ng kulay ng isang bulaklak, kulay ng baka para mas madaling maintindihan. So kung ang trait o yung kulay ay falls in between ng dalawang kulay, like when you cross red to a white flower, the resulting color of the offspring is pink. That shows incomplete dominance pattern of inheritance, meaning to say the red color from one parent do not appear on the offspring, while the white color from another parent flower do not also appear on the offspring. Instead, what appears on the offspring is color pink, which is an intermediate color between red and white. Okay? So, kung sa tao yan, kung yung papa ay masyadong bobo at yung mama naman ay masyadong matalino, at kung ang mga anak ay average lang, halimbawa yan ang tinatawag nating incomplete dominance, kasi hindi nagdodominate ang pagiging matalino ng nanay at hindi rin nagdodominate ang pagiging bobo ng tatay sa kanilang mga anak. In between. Okay? While for codominance pattern, kulay, yung ginamit nating halimbawa, yung pure red ng bull, toro, no? Yung kulay ng isang toro ay pure red, crossed with isang baka na pure white. Ang kulay ng anak ay makikita mo yung pula, makikita mo rin ang puti. So sa Bisaya yan, tinatawag natin yung kabang. Makikita mo klarong-klaro yung pula at yung puti. Ang kulay na yan, ang characteristics ng kulay ng bakang yan is called roux. The trait of one parent is shown on the offspring and the trait of the other parent is also shown on the offspring. So that is what we call codominance pattern of inheritance. Just like a Rowan cow, Rowan calf. When a pure red bull mated with a pure white cow, the resulting color of the calf is RW Rowan. Ito yung genotype natin. Genotype red, white, red, white, red, white. Ano yung phenotype? Yung phenotype natin ay yung tinatawag nating Rowan. Ibig sabihin, kulay na actual mo makikita sa calf. Mayroong pula, mayroong puti. Codominance pattern. While yung incomplete dominance pattern, yung pure red na bulaklak, kung kinukross mo sa pure white na bulaklak, the color of the offspring or heterozygote is pink. Okay? Pink. You can neither see red and white. Red in the offspring. Instead, the color is pink, which is an intermediate color between red and white. And that is what we call incomplete dominance pattern of inheritance. So as the name implies. Okay? So hanggang sa susunod nating video, tatalakayin natin yung tinatawag nating multiple alleles at iba pang pattern of inheritance, including the Mendelian pattern of inheritance. Don't forget to subscribe and share my video. Thank you.